CBS Young and the Restless. Monday full, the 13th of July, 2026. Welcome back to our channel, Soap Family. Today is a beautiful day to dive into the absolute madness that is Genoa City. Grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's get into the nitty-gritty of our favorite daytime drama. We have so much to unpack today, and I am bursting with thoughts. I cannot believe they are doing this again. I mean, seriously, are we actually supposed to sit here and pretend that Kyle Abbott has what it takes to go toe-to-toe with a mustache? I am sitting here typing furiously because the sheer audacity of this boy is sending me into orbit. Kyle and Billy sitting at society, sipping their little drinks, plotting the ultimate revenge against Victor Newman. Are you kidding me right now? Have they learned absolutely nothing from the past decade of this show? Let me back up because I am getting way ahead of myself. Okay, back to the point. The Abbotts are finally having a moment of peace. Patty Williams is in jail. Thank the soap gods. That woman has been a menace to society and to my blood pressure for months. But instead of just enjoying the fact that their family is safe, Kyle decides this is the perfect time to poke the literal bear. He wants to punish Victor for his role in all the misery they've endured. And look, I get it. Victor lured Patty back to town. Victor unleashed that terrifying AI virus that infected half of GC. But Kyle? Kyle is going to be the one to bring him down? I'm sorry, but that is the funniest thing I have heard all week. And let's talk about Billy Abbott for a second. Billy. What are you doing, man? Billy is actually entertaining this idea. He never met a revenge plot he didn't like, but come on. The man has a pregnant Sally Spectra at home. Did we completely forget the sheer trauma Sally just went through? She literally crashed her car in a blinding rainstorm because Jill and Billy were questioning the paternity of her baby. She lost her first baby, Ava, and the grief almost destroyed her. Now they are getting a second chance, and Billy wants to risk it all to play corporate espionage with his nephew? I am screaming at my screen. Because, let's be real, Victor Newman does not play games. I've been watching this show religiously since 2015, and this is exactly the kind of setup that ends with an Abbott losing their company, their dignity, or both. Remember when Jack tried to fight Victor, and we ended up with the whole Marco Onicelli doppelganger nightmare? Remember the cabin? Yeah, didn't work then either. Victor always wins. If Kyle and Billy launch an attack, Victor will crush them like bugs on his windshield. And I know some people are loving this idea of the Abbotts finally fighting back, but personally, I think they are walking into a slaughterhouse. Wait, let's pivot to the actual celebration happening at the Abbott mansion because the contrast is giving me whiplash. While the boys are at society plotting their doom, Jack, Diane, Ashley, and Tracy are popping champagne in the living room. And honestly, they deserve it. Patty Williams is finally behind bars where she belongs. Do you realize how insane this storyline was? Patty literally teamed up with that corrupt doctor, Lawrence Markham, to kidnap Abby and baby Dominic. She sent Ashley a photo of them in captivity just to break her mind. Ashley went absolutely feral, and I was here for every single second of it. Ashley Abbott is the strongest woman in Genoa City, and seeing her pushed to the brink, vowing absolute destruction on Patty and Markham, was peak television. She was dragged all the way from her peaceful life in Paris just to deal with this psycho. And Tracy. Sweet, angelic Tracy Abbott turning into an absolute savage and dragging the truth out of Patty by her hair? Iconic. Tracy proved that you do not mess with the Abbotts. They survived, they got Abby and Dominic back, and Patty's reign of terror is over. So why can't Kyle just let it go? I mean, I know Victor is the puppet master. Victor knew exactly what he was doing when he triggered Patty's obsession with Jack again. He knew Patty would go off the deep end. He basically handed her the matches to burn the Abbott family down. And the blackmail, Patty forcing Jack to sleep with her, trying to recreate that gross yacht magic in exchange for Diane's location? Jack was terrified, disgusted, and desperate. It was so hard to watch Jack be manipulated like that just to save his wife. And poor Diane, waking up in that padded cell, drugged, disoriented, staring at barred windows while Dr. Markham gaslit her into thinking she had a mental breakdown. It was straight out of a horror movie. I still get chills thinking about her finding those books by Dr. Alan Laurent in her room. But Jack and Diane survived it. They are alive, they are back together, and they are giving their marriage another shot. After Diane caught Jack and Nikki in that compromising position, I thought they were done for sure. But the trauma of the kidnapping actually brought them back together. It's a miracle they are even speaking, let alone celebrating. Which brings me back to the mansion. Lauren Fenmore Baldwin is hanging out with them, and she actually asks to be an honorary abbot. Am I the only one who found that incredibly cute but also a little hilarious? Lauren is a legacy character in her own right. She is a Fenmore? But honestly, I don't blame her for wanting to jump ship and join the abbots right now. Her best friend, Phyllis, is a walking disaster area, and her husband Michael is losing his mind trying to keep Phyllis out of prison. Lauren just wants to drink champagne and not worry about felonies for 5 minutes. Let's talk about that AI virus for a second, because it ties perfectly into why Kyle is an absolute idiot for targeting Victor. The AI virus that Kyle is so mad about? The one Victor created? Look at what it did to Phyllis and Christine. Victor used that AI to generate fake emails, framing Phyllis, and getting Christine arrested in the middle of a courtroom. Christine was screaming that she was set up, and Victor just sat in the gallery with this cold, dead expression on his face. He sacrificed Christine and destroyed Phyllis just to protect his own empire. That is the man Kyle wants to go up against. A man who will literally fabricate digital evidence to send innocent people to prison. A man who is currently drugging his own wife, Nikki, convincing her she's dying of a brain tumor just so he can steal her Newman Enterprises shares. If Victor will do that to the love of his life, what on earth does Kyle think Victor will do to him? It's not just a business rivalry anymore. Victor is operating on a level of pure, unadulterated villainy right now. Victoria is just starting to figure out what her dad is doing to her mom. And when that blows up, it's going to be nuclear. I feel like Kyle is just overcompensating. His personal life has been a mess. His romantic history is a disaster. And now he wants to play the big, tough protector of the Abbott legacy. But he doesn't have the strategic mind for it. He's emotional, he's reactive, and he's completely underestimating his opponent. Kyle thinks because he has a little bit of ambition, he can outsmart a man who has been running this town since before Kyle was even born. It's embarrassing. And Billy should know better. Billy has been destroyed by Victor so many times, I've lost count. The fact that Billy is sitting there at society, nodding along to Kyle's ridiculous revenge fantasy, makes me want to throw my remote at the TV. Billy needs to step back. Sally needs him right now. She is carrying his child, dealing with the immense trauma of her past, and trying to build a future. If Billy gets distracted by a vendetta against Victor, he is going to lose everything that actually matters. I am dreading this storyline, because I can already see the train wreck coming in slow motion. Victor will find out about their little plot before they even leave society. He probably has the place bugged. Victor always knows everything. The second Kyle makes a move, Victor is going to retaliate, and it's not going to be a slap on the wrist. He will go after Jabot, he will go after their personal lives, and he will tear the Abbott family apart right when they finally got back together. Jack is going to be furious when he finds out what his son and brother are up to. I know some of you in the comments are going to say, but Victor needs to pay. And you're right. He does. He absolutely does. He needs to pay for what he did to Nikki, for what he did to Christine, and for bringing Patty back to terrorize Ashley, Abby, and Dominic. But Kyle Abbott is not the hero we need for this story. It has to be someone who can actually outsmart him. Maybe Adam? Maybe Victoria, once she realizes what he's doing to her mother? But Kyle? No way. Kyle is just going to make it worse. So, here we are. The Abbotts are popping champagne, completely oblivious to the fact that Kyle and Billy are about to start World War III. I am half celebrating Patty being in jail and half complaining about the sheer stupidity of the Abbott men. It is exhausting being a fan of this show sometimes, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. We are in for a wild ride, you guys. Let me know if you think Kyle actually stands a chance, because I am fully prepared to watch him crash and burn.